Okay, so they're labeled with capital letters. They can also be labeled with 3 letters. So example, angle ABC, or we can just talk about angle B, the vertex. Okay, so this here, the vertex, is the middle one. We've talked a little bit about that with circles. Sides are labeled with lowercase letters. They can also be labeled with 2 capital letters. So you have options there. The opposite angle must be labeled with the same letter. So for example, if we have here, this is A, B, C, this would be lowercase a because it's opposite capital A. This is capital B, so this would be little b. So we can say little b could also equal what 2 capital letters? AC. Okay. That's what we're talking about with lowercase and 2 capitals for the sides. Okay. Lowercase a can also equal what? CB, usually alphabetical though, BC, although I don't mark CB wrong. Okay. Which side is little c? What's another name for little c? Hypotenuse, or 2 capital letters? AB. Okay. So we need to know how to label them. All right. So here we have a similar to. Just a little squiggly line. This is our similar to sign. So we can say triangle box is similar to triangle cat. So this is B, O, and X. These angles must match up. So if this is angle C, if I mark this with 1 line, C must be marked with 1 line as well. Because those angles are equal. They're in the same spot in the name. What are the 2 last letters? X and T. Right? So, since X and T are the very last letters in the name, they must also be equal. So maybe instead of an angle symbol, I use a dot, then X would have the same symbol to indicate it's the same size. Now, what about the third angles? Are they equal? Yes, they are, because the angles of a triangle add to 180 degrees. Okay. So, if 2 angles are equal, then the third is also equal. Okay. So I can say angle B equals what angle? Angle C. I can tell from the diagram and from the name. What does angle X equal? Good. Angle T. And what does angle O equal? Angle A. So you can look from the name as well as the diagram. What about corresponding sides? BO corresponds with what side? CA. So in the name, it's the very first 2 capital letters. Okay. BO and CA are the first 2. But looking at the diagram, it also has the same angle markings, right? 1 line and no line, right? Or 1 line and no marking. So from the diagram and the name. What side matches up with BX? two last letters, definitely would be CT. So you can tell from the name they're in the same position. And which side corresponds with OX? AT. Okay. And so AT again has no angle markings and a dot. No angles and markings and the dot would definitely be OX. All right, so they match up. Okay. Questions? Cover just a lot of little details there, okay? You got to be good at that stuff. So what we're going to do now is determine if each pair of triangles is similar or are similar. Match up lengths to find the ratios. Well, let's just look at this question first. We have two angles that are the same. What's the value of this angle? What is it? 180 minus 90 minus 69. Oops, that's not right. 21. Okay. Guess what? This is also 21 degrees. Same angles. So is this triangle similar? Yes, because same angles. So this could be used as a reason. This would be one of your reasons. Now let's just say we put one of the triangles on top. Actually, you know what? We don't need the side lengths. Let's go to the next triangle. Is triangle ABC similar to DEF? Do you know anything about the angles? Nope, not enough. So then you gotta look at the corresponding sides. Which triangle do you want on top, the left or the right? Just pick, it's 50-50. Alouette. Left. Good. So then the right triangle numbers go on the bottom. So in the left triangle, we have 2.7, 3, and 3.3. So which side would correspond with 2.7? You guys want a hint? Why? Why? Look at the sizes, please. 2.7 is the smallest. So why does it have to line up with 2.5? Jamie? Exactly. You got to match up smallest with smallest. If we're just enlarging something, the smallest size isn't also going to become the largest side. It'll still be the smallest, just a different number. So this will be 2.5. Okay. What about 3? Which side lines up with 3? And what about 4.1? 3.3. Now what I want you to do is get me the decimal value of those ratios. So I just go 2.7 divided by 2.5. That equals 1.08. 3 divided by 4 is 0.75. And 3.3 divided by 4.1 equals 0.8. So, are they similar? No, because corresponding sides are not in the same ratio. Okay, so it's not going to work out. Any questions? So let's have a look up top. Let's see if these are in corresponding ratios. Which triangle do you want on the top of the fractions, the left or the right? The big or the small? Choose, Xander. Sure. And the right goes on the bottom. So the left numbers, let's start with the smallest, 1.1, 2.8, 3. Match up the right triangle numbers then. So grab your calculator and divide. 1.1 divided by 1.65, 0.6 repeating. 2.8 divided by 4.2, 0.6 repeating. And 3 divided by 4.5, 0.6 repeating. All the ratios are the same. So what's the scale factor? 0.6. 0.6 repeating. Okay? They all increase by the same amount, or decrease, depending on which was your start and your finish. Okay? Any questions? All right. So this would be reason number 2. Okay, reason number 1 is yes, because they have the same angles. But if you don't know the angles, then you check out the sides. Right? Okay, turn it over. You're going to have to draw this diagram. So, write this out. I'll highlight what you need to write. Write down triangle GHI is similar to KLM. And then you need to draw your diagrams, okay? That's all I would do. Just draw your diagrams. I'll write that out. Wait. Victoria's mom, guess what? Victoria just threw out like half an apple. Can you believe that? Oh, can't believe that. Okay, so here we go. What you want to do here is put one of the triangles on the top and the bottom. It doesn't matter which. Big or small, doesn't matter. Pick one. Matt. Okay, so we'll do left one on the top, right one on the bottom. Make up your 3 fractions. Go. So for the left triangle, we'll go x to 1.9. What goes underneath x? Well, what lines up with GH? KL. So KL would be 10. Notice I didn't look at the diagram and just assume, because what does assume mean? Exactly. So, make sure you look at the name. Okay. Now the 2 is side GI. What side lines up with GI? KM, because it's the 2 outside letters. Okay. And then 1.9 is only one side left over, 7.6. Okay. So what we have to do is have at least one fraction that we know. So this will be the question. X over 10 equals 2 over 8. How should we solve for x? What do we have to get rid of? Cross multiply. Now we don't have to do a complete cross multiplication. So all we need to get rid of is that divide by 10 part. So bring it up and multiply. And so x equals 20 divided by 8. Go to 1 decimal. And so x equals 2.5. Okay. Any questions? The hard part is to make sure you got your triangle set up properly. After that, it's not too bad. Let's try the next one. Please draw this diagram. Take your time to draw it right, putting the numbers in the correct spot. Okay, the trick is, what's this side length AC? That's right. You've got to add them together first. So you got to make sure that you get the proper lengths, because we're going to make you add and subtract and do a little bit of thinking rather than just barf on your page. So that's kind of gross. And what other measurements are you going to need to add together? B to C. Okay, so you want to add that one up as well. Again, you got to do some thinking. We don't want a bunch of barfers. So we have 15.9. People that don't think and just kind of throw up on the page. No, it's a Barker with a K, not an F. Nothing. Okay. Here we go. So which triangle do you want on the top, the large or the small? Small. Now sometimes it's helpful when you get a diagram like this to redraw the small one. 5.4, 8.7, 10.5. Up to you though, I'm not going to babysit you. Okay. So we'll use big triangle, small triangle. Which one goes on top? Meaty. Big or small this time, please. It'll be easier. Big or small? Big. Okay. Big and then small in the bottom. Okay. Now you might not be able to have 3 fractions. That's okay. As long as you have 2 of them that work. So x lines up with 5.4. You can get that from the name A, B, and EF. Then on the large triangle, we're at 19.2. On the small, 10.5. The large one, 15.9. On the small one, 8.7. Okay. Solve for x. Go. Okay, so here we have, oops, I screwed up, wrong question. $5.4 times 19.2 divided by 10.5. We get 9.874. How many decimals? Nearest tenth. So tenth is 1 decimal place. 9.9 is the value of x. So round to the nearest tenth. Questions, comments, concerns? Okay, so here we have the sun. It's up here. Mr. Golden Sun, come shine on me. Here's Cam. And so he makes a shadow. And the shadow is on the ground. Just to let you know, when you want to find your shadow, you got to look on the ground. Have a look right now. Find your shadow.
Yeah, it could be on the wall.
Pardon?
It could also be on the wall.
Yeah, then you wouldn't work for this question. Is your shadow on the wall right now?
No, because I'm not shadowing.
Really? I do. I see it right now. It's on the ground. Okay. Good. Now that we proved that, let's get going. Here's your triangle, folks. There's 90 degrees. Okay. So, Cam's shadow is 2.5 meters. Okay. Cam is 1.5 meters tall. There's a tree, the tower. There's your tower. It has a shadow as well, and the shadow for the tower is 5.8 meters. You want to know how tall is the tower, so that's x. Now today they keep it really easy. They give you a diagram for almost everything, okay? So, let's start with, here we only have 2 fractions. If we have x, what goes underneath x? Okay, what other number goes with x over here? 5.8. And what number lines up underneath 5.8? Solve for x. Go. We need to do a short little sentence. Tower is 3.48 meters tall.